In-depth.
Unapologetic.
Critical.
Necessary.
Intrepid.
Hopeful.
Representative.
Audacious.
Incisive.
Adversarial.
Defiant.
Illustrative.
Provocative.
Engaging.
Uncompromising.
Enticing.
I wrote about the death of Omni News and how broadcast journalism is suffering as viewers turn online.
Journalists of color in today's newsrooms, and an industry that's still learning how essential they are.
I wrote a retrospective on Edna Stapler, who was a pioneering Canadian feature writer, but she's only remembered for her cookbooks.
To cover holes left by newsroom cuts, young journalists must define their roles as reporters.
My story is a profile of Steve Bacon, who is a television journalist who isn't afraid to be boring to be good.
My story highlights Indigenous journalists from around the country and the different approaches and stories that they're sharing with the rest of Canada.
It's about how coverage of trans people has come a long way, but still needs more work.
I wrote a profile of Andre Picard, who can answer your burning questions about health, including the most important: should you still eat bacon?
Why aren't journalists telling immigrant and refugee stories?
I wrote about Ottawa's Parliamentary Press Galleries, the journalistic version of Lord of the Flies.
My story is an in-depth analysis of the photojournalism landscape and what that means for freelancers.
My story is about the growing relationship between foreign correspondents and humanitarian groups.
My story is about how gang and gun coverage in Toronto perpetuates stereotypes of Black communities.
I covered the Toronto Star's new tabloid edition, Star Touch, and wrote about digital change in the newspaper industry.
My feature tells the story of how the Toronto Star's investigations exposed Cardiff.
As production editor, I've had my hands on every story from draft one until final proof, and I can honestly say that this issue is going to be a game changer. This masthead has been working relentlessly since last fall to bring you these well-researched and seriously well-written features. You're not going to want to miss this issue because it's going to get people talking for